What word is telling you it's exponential?
Decay.
Yes, that is one, but
Oh,
there's
yeah, and
also
rate,
the
and rate.
and
Sorry,
rate.
can't forget
So
about the rate.
decay at a rate. That says exponential. And D, the number of patients who contract a new disease, if that number triples every week. Triples.
What if we didn't get that part of D because we already knew the answer was C for reading the other two and then we brought that one? I read the third one, but
You're always going to want to look at every single option because on a Regents exam, sometimes that third one might be like less than or equal to instead of just less than, right? So look at all of your options and determine. D isn't it. I kind of think it's C, but D isn't it because of this term right here. So my answer is absolutely C.
Chief called. He said it ain't it.
G of 1 equals negative 3. They gave us an equation, g of x equals negative 2, g of x minus 1 plus 2. What would be the value of g of 4? Let's call on someone. You're doing great. Let's get some other kids involved. Tanner, what are you thinking? You plugged 4 in for x. Did anyone else plug 4 in for x?
That's
What'd you do, Gab?
I went through all like 3 of them because there's 2 places to plug stuff in.
Okay.
So
So you did a g of 1, g of 2, g of 3.
yeah.
yeah,
G of 1 they gave us as negative 3. What'd you get for g of 2?
I had 8.
You got 8. And how'd you get 8? What'd you do?
So I plugged in 2 for x,
Uh-huh.
and then if you did 2 minus 1,
Okay.
that's going to be 1.
Now I'm going to freeze you right there.
I
Okay.
didn't plug in the 3 because that's a 1.
There's something in this equation right here that tells us that we can't just plug in 2 for our x. What is it, Chanel? This whole thing right here. This whole thing is saying g of x minus 1. And think back at the beginning of this unit. We actually just tested on it for our mid-module. There was something like a sub n, and then it gave us a formula, and it had n plus 1 and n minus 1. What type of functions were we dealing with that? Does anyone know? It was one of the most missed questions on your exam. A recursive function. G of x minus 1 is automatically saying this is a recursive function. And the g of x minus 1 means what? What does it mean? What did n minus 1 mean?
That meant before, no, that meant the current?
No.
That meant before the current. value.
Which is given
Has the past,
the previous
previous.
term. Here we just took the n and we changed it to a g of x. So g of x minus 1 is your previous term. So we're working on the current term. It equals 2, or negative 2, times your previous term plus 2. So if we go back up to Gab's work up here, g of 2, how am I going to write the equation to do the math? Carter?
That would be of g of negative 3.
No. The equation, we're substituting in the information that they gave us to come up with a new equation. Understanding that the equation says negative 2 times my previous term plus 2. What is my new equation for g of 2 going to look like?
Alright, so g parentheses 2 and parentheses equal to what you got of negative 2. Then what you're going to get here is parentheses. And then you're going to get what the previous term was, which is negative 3. And then negative 1. Oh, and parentheses. Then you go parentheses again. Right?
No.
No. Alright.
This whole thing, this g of x your previous
So
term.
then you just do plus two.
Yeah.
You would just
Yeah,
add the
plus
2 on the end.
What if
Yep.
what if we plugged the four in?
Then that's fine. If you want to say it's right there.
If you just plugged 4 in, you did not do it correctly because a recursive function is based off of your previous term to get your current term. Okay? So from here, we've got to do math. -2 times -3 is
6.
plus 2 equals 8. So g of 2 comes out to be 8. Can we just skip straight to g of 4?
No, you gotta do G of
No, you gotta do g of 3.
That's
So
fine.
again, our equation, we're just substituting in our previous term into the equation we've got. We've got a -2 times your previous term plus 2. What is my equation gonna look like for g of 3?
It's gonna be 2 times 8 plus 2.
-2 times
8
8
plus 2.
plus 2. And if we do the math, -2 times 8 is -16 plus 2,
Which is 14,
-14. So our output for g of 3 is -14. Can we now do g of 4?
Yeah.
Yes, we can. G of 4 equals, what is my equation going to look like? -2 times -14 plus 2.
And then you just, yeah.
So then we do the math. -2 times -14 is a positive 28 plus 2,
Is
30. So g of 4 comes out to be 30. Thumbs up, I got it? Yeah? CJ? You got it?
You did a good job.
Nice. Has everyone got that written down? How you doing, Jacob?
I got it written down like for you.
Jacob. Good morning.
All right.
Did you get this?
Merry Christmas.
Stick with me, man. We're flying through it. You got it. You can do it. Would you like to look at my notes for this?
Yes.
Okay. Stay awake. There you go. You're welcome. All right, our last question on the homework. Larry's parents bought himself a Hess truck valued at $25 when he was 5. If the value of the Hess truck appreciates at a rate of 3.5% per year, which function could represent the value of the truck when Larry turns 30? There are 2 possible answers we can get rid of immediately. What are they and why? Yeah?
The first 2 A's,
Why?
because you have to take the decimal point the 2, like,
So you're talking the decimals?
Yes.
yeah, but
Oh,
like,
yeah,
even like
25.
that problem,
Right, what does this decimal say?
that it only moved it over 1, but it's like.
Right, what does this decimal read?
This will say, how much it goes up,
Yep, and what is it as a percent?
that.
35%.
And you have to move it to 10. Right, yeah?
Yep. We are working with 3.5%. So if we take this 3.5, move the decimal point 2 places, it puts a 0 out in front. So automatically, A and B are off the options.
Isn't there another reason?
For those ones, that's the first thing, you can cross them off. There is another thing that's going to tell us the rest of it. Chanel, you wanna give us something?
It's the bottom A.
You're telling me it's this one. Why do you think it's A?
Because it's 25.
What about the
Not
25?
first one, yeah, that's one.
This one? What about it?
It's just 30,
It's supposed to be 30?
right?
So you're saying this one's wrong?
No,
Or this
yeah,
is the
it's
answer?
wrong, it's wrong.
You're saying that this
Is it
one's wrong?
Is it not wrong?
Dominic, what do you think?
It's been 25 years since he was 5.
Thank you.
Yes!
So it's correct.
Good answer.
Oh!
Let's go.
The value of the truck when Larry turns 30, he's already 5. So, the truck will gain value for 25 years. Which means it can't be 30 years. So that puts letter D as our answer.
A 5-year-old bought a truck,
Well, probably his grandpa bought it for him.
and he can't drive it.
It's
No,
not,
it's a
it's a little, it's like a Tonka truck,
Oh.
so it's a little toy truck.
Oh.
But when Hess trucks first came out, they had a specific, like, it would be worth a lot of money after a certain amount of time. So this question is saying, when he turns 30, he's gonna have a lot of money in that truck, right? It's gonna be worth a lot. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Come on, go to the next one. Okay. Jacob, can I have my notes back really quick? Because we're going to start something new. And I know you guys can do it. It's not that difficult. You just have to think back to what we've already learned with specific notations and functions. Okay? So, you can either write it on the back of your sheet. It will fit on the back of your worksheet. You can get a new piece of paper. You can write it in your orange books, whichever you choose. But you're going to want to write it down. Today, we're going to be talking about interval notation.
Hey, yo, Tart Tart's pretty hard. Alright, round that.
Interval notation. And I'm letting you know right now, you've never seen this before unless you've taken algebra again or again. So I'm going to start off by giving you something that you already know, okay? And this is going to help us figure out what interval notation is.
I can write on mine so we can break her
You have seen this before, yes? Everyone can agree? I know what this is. What is it called?
later. Yes.
Yeah, anything you want to write it down. What was that? This is called set notation. Okay? Set notation. You all know that. We've done it over and over again. He's given you a bunch of chances to try to figure out the set notation based off a graph, based off of a sequence, right? We've gone over this. Now, I'm going to use the exact same example, but I'm going to write it in interval notation. Okay. Now, I want you to, when you see this,
Justin Bates, please come to the main office immediately. Justin Bates to the main
I gotta
office.
go with,
now, I want you to pay very close attention to what the interval notation is going to look like and how it compares to our set notation. Bracket 0, 4, parentheses.
Wow.
This is interval notation. Now take a second, chat with a partner on how you see a connection between set notation and interval notation. Go ahead, chat with a friend. What connection do you make?
Okay.
Alrighty. I heard some good conversations. Does anyone, CJ, you wanna take a stab at what this is?
Sure, why not?
Alright, tell me what you're thinking.
It's just like saying like that, like, or like,
I would change.
where the 0 and 4 are, like, just explaining that part.
You're saying it's explaining this.
Well, yeah, explaining like.
How?
I don't know, like the bracket and,
Yeah, we put a bracket there and we put parentheses. Gab, why is there a bracket and parentheses? Why is 0 and 4 being used?
0 and 4 is being used because it's already in there. I feel like that's just like a shorter way to say that one little part.
It is. It definitely is. It's like shorthand for set notation. Chanel, you wanna add something?
I said that maybe they have the, like, that one,
The bracket.
it might, use the left side of the one up there,
What specific
like,
number, symbol,
where the X is real and that,
this? You're thinking that the bracket is connected to this part?
like, if it's separated from that side.
You're very, very close. CJ, you wanna take another stab at it?
Is the bracket thing representing the big line with the straight?
This, such that sign? Nope. You're getting closer, Ashley.
Alright, so, does the parenthesis, or not parenthesis, the comma thingy in there, does that represent the thingy with the under thingy with the
Real
X
part.
and the other
Be
thingy?
less than or equal to?
Yeah.
Not the comma, but you're very close.
Is
If you take what you said and add it to what CJ
that whole
said,
thing
you would make
represents.
a whole math person.
The
And it
bracket
would be great.
is, okay, the
So you're telling me
bracket
if you
thing
make
is
my
what
black
you
hat,
said.
black hat, you right?
Yes, the bracket means what?
What you said.
What did he say?
I forgot. What you said?
Pardon the interruption, but it's one of those days. So, magical rehearsal is still on. So magical rehearsal will occur at 2:15 as scheduled. Thank you.
So CJ, the bracket represents what Ashton said. What did Ashton say?
Actually, what did you say?
The
Alright.
brackets
So
represent,
the brackets represents the, less than or equal to and the less than.
Yeah.
the bracket represents the less than or
And then-
equal to,
And then the other thingy represents the, what he said before, which
the
is that line.
parentheses represents.
Oh, was it the comma that means a real number? No.
So, when we talk about having a less than or equal to sign, what is that telling us about the number
The X is in between
After.
those two.
that X is in between it? Can I use 0?
Yeah.
Yes, you can use your, we can
Yes.
use 4.
So the brackets are saying that I can use
Use that number.
the number.
Okay.
I
well,
can use it. So knowing that, what do you think the parentheses mean?
You cannot use that
You
number.
cannot use it.
Wait, so where's
Okay? I'm gonna give you some examples,
wait,
so
so
you'll
the
be able to
lines
test it
are
out.
one bracket and one parentheses?
Because you can use.
Because if
look,
you go on
you
to
can
the
use
set
four-
notation-
You can use the 0 just so it's greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to, but you
say
can't
I
use
use it.
the 4 because it's only less than, it's not less than or
Do you
equal.
see it? Alright,
I got you, Miss G, sorry.
thank you. Now
Well-
there's one more thing about interval notation. So interval notation is always implied that you're using real numbers, okay? Interval notation uses all real numbers, and we're usually gonna see it when we graph. Okay? Now, knowing all of that information, I'm gonna give you some examples. You're gonna test it out. Paying attention to the brackets and parentheses, okay?
Do you want?
How would you write it in set, or in interval notation? The set of x real such that
Oh, wait,
negative
what'd you do
3,
about parentheses?
write it down on your page. It's okay, we're gonna go over it. Negative 3 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 2. CJ,
Yeah.
redeem yourself. What would your interval notation look like?
Would it be the parentheses and negative 3, comma, 2 in the bracket?
Genius.
CJ,
He's back.
CJ,
Back
Mr.
in
Cunningham. CJ just answered the
Yeah.
question.
It was right.
Oh, you got it right. Yeah, it was right, dog.
Yeah.
I must have nodded off and I'm dreaming back here, dreaming about the day that CJ did something right.
I feel like you're just sitting here with your eyes
CJ,
on
let's
me.
try
It's
another
kind of
one.
scary, me.
CJ, let's do another one.
Hey.
This one, now this one is a bit tricky, okay? X is greater than or equal to 2.
Ha!
Oh.
Try this one. Write it down on your page. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That's alright, this one is tricky. We're getting there. Did anyone get a chance to, what are you thinking?
I had the wrong.
No, because it's no, so.
Ah, not
No,
quite.
Shelby!
So,
Wait, can I
here are
take
some
some?
answers I've seen.
Okay, so how do you
I've
work
seen
that?
this, I've seen this, I've seen this.
Wait, but you didn't look at mine?
Wait,
a minute.
you had a 2 with parentheses.
No, it wasn't
Brackets.
parentheses, it was you.
This was Ashton's.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I've done, that's what I meant to write.
Is that right? Wait,
What?
Wait, so then would you put
let's
a zero
break
in
it down.
Now back it up.
X is greater than or equal to 2. What is our lowest value that X could be?
2. And the great, oh, it's just 2 and 2.
And what is the greatest
2.
2 could be?
Greater than.
X is greater than or equal
Oh,
to
anything
2.
greater than 2.
What is that in math? What do we call any possible number that could be past a certain number? No? No? The R.
I don't remember.
No? Keep thinking. Infinity!
I said that.
Yeah! Mr. Cunningham, we have smart kids.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Now, we're saying that X is greater than or equal to 2.
That's a.
You've got the 2, and now I need to determine, do I need brackets or parentheses? CJ, what do you think? On both?
No, on one, parentheses, on the other.
What ones?
Alright, so which one do you need a bracket on this big guy?
This
on the
one?
number 2. And on the other big guy, you need like a thingamajigger, parentheses.
No, you need.
And you are correct.
What?
CJ is correct.
Oh, you
Or
need
not
a bracket.
CJ, Ashton.
Yes, alright, yeah, I can tell you why I'm correct.
Here's
Because
why.
the sign, there's no other sign there.
What?
Infinity and negative infinity always
I
use
a bracket.
parentheses.
Or parentheses, yes. you are.
Always. I'm gonna give you one more example.
I think it's back with 8. Bracket.
Yes, I
Try that one.
That's that is
Take all the information you've learned today, and you can definitely do that one. What do you think? Oh, yes, you can. High five.
Wait, oh no.
High five.
You got it right, I have it right.
High five me. Goodness.
I know it's
Me. So close. It is the other way around. And remember,
Okay, I was
infinity and negative infinity always use parentheses, not the brackets.
Negative,
So,
you put negative thing in front of it?
we're gonna write it out. X is less than or equal to negative 3. What does it look like in interval notation? CJ.
Bracket, and then -3, comma, and then infinity.
You're saying infinity.
And then, bracket, or comma. Or not,
Parentheses.
parentheses, yeah.
Okay? Anyone else? Gab?
Negative.
Negative in front of the infinity sign?
Oh, I didn't.
No.
Oh, hang on a second. I screwed up for you. Because it's saying X is less than or equal to negative 3, which means,
Positive.
is negative 3 our lowest value or our highest value
What's
X
our
can be?
highest value?
So we need to flip them around.
I told you, Latora.
So,
I told you. I told you, Latora, okay?
negative infinity, comma, negative 3.
So I was right the first.
bracket.
You were right the first time. I was right.
Not this one.
There is a first.
Okay? Now, for homework tonight, problems 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you to write them in interval notation for me.
Actually, you are.
Yes, you may grab your phone quick, take a picture.
Yeah, about that. Yo, just
You've
throw it.
got
Seriously.
about 2
Because
minutes.
if I